Hello guys, si Kersan Velasyon ulit ito at welcome sa episode 36 ng laro tayo ng Shadowrun Dragonfall Director's Cut main campaign. So, tuloy natin yung game natin. Yung huling episode natin guys, nakaligtas tayo doon sa doon sa raid ng mga grupo ni Audrey sa Cruz Bazaar, tapos napigilan din natin yung mga nilagay nilang bomba sa ilalim ng sewers. So ngayon, babasahin na natin yung nakuha nating data chip kay Alice. Tapos tignan natin kung nasusundan na course of action natin. Dante's Inferno. Achievements na. Tinignan ko lang yung mga achievements so far. Okay. So ngayon, titignan natin kung ano yung tignan natin kung ano yung information na nakuha natin kay Alice. Pero check ko lang yun 11k 500 plus 4. So next time magkaroon tayo ng 6. Saan ko ilalagay? Ano ba maganda? Yung mga yan wala na yan. Dito tayo sa range combat. Sign na natin to. The cool blue tones of the workstation's main menu fill the screen. A blinking message in the upper right corner notifies you that you have zero unread messages. So Shadowlands all message. Wala message. Pasok nga tayo ulit ng BBS. Claim payment for sold pay data. As technology DNA donor list. Data solved successfully. Winning bid 600 million. Escrow 60, so for 514 nakuha natin. Dali lang guys, may message, basahin ko lang. Hindi lang guys, mag-reply lang ako dito. Okay. 540. So magkano yung natin? 12k may get? O 12.8. Okay may pay data pa ba tayo? Wala na yata eh. Wala na. Okay. Magtatagal tayo dito pero sige. Search BBS for relevant keywords. Tingnan natin. Topics, wala na. Ay, ito pala. Thread. Selling used custom Westwind 2000. Like it says, good condition, clean. Got the turbocharged kit. Turbocharged kit additional. Armor plating added to the front and sides. Trunk has a mounted Ares autocannon. But you'll need a rigger to operate it. No hand access. Looking for 80,000 OBO Bluebeard. 1510 valid 3 31045 November 18, 2054. Nice car. Wouldn't happen to be any corpse looking for it at the moment, eh? Rudy. 4:30 ng hapon. 4:30, 22 seconds. November 18 din. Has the PPS been triggered? Any Rex rebuild? Tolstoy, 1641. So, 4:41 ng hapon din. Same day. Tolstoy, nope. All clear on that front. Nobody drove this baby but me. And I don't wreck cars. The autocannon dropped the last sucker who tried to do any damage. So, 6:40 ng gabi. Same day pa rin. Okay, wala na. Okay, wala na time po. Payday tayo. So, go back. Wala na time messages. Check. Ito na. Read the contents of Alice's optical chip. You stick the optical chip into the computer's waiting chip jack. On the screen, Alice's office blossoms into view. A half second later, a real-time simulation of Alice appears, seated behind her mahogany desk. Dahil lang guys, medyo na yung hindi ko masyado mabasa kasi nag-windowed mode ako ulit eh. Seated behind her mahogany desk. Something about it reminds you of a figure from a wax museum. Lifelike, but dead inside. It greets you with a facsimile of Alice's joyless smile. Customer name, Raquel Siddhartha. Its voice is hollow, synthetic, an automation masquerading as a living woman. One who you've never even met in the flesh. Account number 1012579. Greetings, valued customer. I am an offline simulation of the Alice persona. I have been included on this chip to answer any questions that you might have about your information purchase. Nifty piece of tech. Ay, na-skip ko yung dialogue ni Iger. If you are ready to proceed, I will present Alice's findings. You may interrupt this presentation at any point by saying, Alice, I have a question. Is that the only thing you'll respond to, or can I talk to you like a normal person? We're ready. Let's get this show on the road. Okay, so hindi ka naman pwede makapag-usap sa recording yan eh. So okay. We're ready. Let's get this show on the road. Very well. Commencing presentation. The simulacrum goes rigid for a moment, then seems to relax. When it speaks, it sounds more natural, as though the real Alice is speaking through it. Alright, Raquel Siddhartha, I've got good news for you, and I've got bad news. Let's start with the good news. I've found Vauclair, and he is alive. Thank God. Reply niya ni Dietrich. The trail to your missing doctor was a long and slippery one. The fee that you paid me barely covered my costs for the job. I sent a team into the SOX on a fact-finding mission. I bribed government officials. I greased the palms of wage slaves at megacorps all across Europe. Each step I took eliminated possibilities, drew me a little bit closer, and finally I found the place where Vauclair is being held. The simulacrum makes a sweeping gesture with its right hand, and an image switchblades onto the screen. A grainy overhead photograph, annotated with map coordinates. You recognize it immediately. Ano, yung Harfield Manor na naman? Doon na naman, doon tayo papalik, di na ba? This is where you'll find him. He is being held captive at a remote estate called the Harfield. Sabi na eh. Doon na naman sa Harfield Manor na naman. So nakita pala natin siya halos. You got to be kidding me. He was there the whole time? Glory says nothing. She just studies the photograph and nods. Okay, now what you tell me. I get it. This is something else that I missed. Alice, I have a question. If this was the good news, I can't wait to hear the bad news. Okay. O sige, magtanong muna tayo. Alice, I have a question. The simulacrum hitches again, and you can feel the life drain out of it. Looks up at you, robotically. You have a question? Alright, please make your inquiry now. You said that Vauclair is being held at the estate. What evidence did you turn up to support that? What else did you turn up about the Harfield Manor? Okay, ito muna. One of my assets at Transys Neuronet provided me with a video feed dated 2053-10 October 10, 2053. The feed was taken by a corporate surveillance drone. Playback commencing. The screen is filled with a grainy black and white video feed. You recognize the Harfield Manor photographed from high above. The camera pushes in, and the image sharpens. Through a barred ground level window, you can see the shape of a stooped, emaciated figure. His body shows clear signs of neglect. The figure is unmistakable. It's Vauclair, 20 years older and worse for wear. His skin hangs loose on his bones and his cheeks are hollow. There is a distinctly gray pallor to his skin. That's Vauclair, alright. What's left of him anyway? It doesn't look like they've been feeding him much. He shakes his head. Poor bastard. Another figure steps into frame behind Vauclair. An orc. He turns his head slightly and his skin cracks catch the light. Vauclair slowly turns to face Aldrin, and the video feed cuts out. The simulacrum stares at you impassively. Do you have another question? What else did you turn up about the Harfield Manor? Wag naman lang muna. No more questions. Let's go on to the bad news. Very well. Feel free to interrupt again with any future inquiries. The simulacrum pauses and a brief tremor washes over its body. Its eyes flutter and you can hear the sound of your computer working to process more of the chip's data. Iger turns to address the team. If Vauclair's at Harfield, we've got problems. The last time we broke into the place, they took Monica out. It was a miracle that any of you got out alive. Yeah, but no. Now we know what's down there. We know what's down there. This time we'll be prepared for it. We can handle this. Sana. Sana ma-handle na natin yan this time. Iger shakes her head. No, it'll be even worse this time. The first time we went in, we had the element of surprise on our side. But now they'll be expecting us. They're hunting us, remember? Their security team is going to be waiting for us. Dietrich, will be waiting for us, Dietrich. That Audron bastard is going to be waiting for us. And even if we make it past them, we're going to have to deal with the dragon in the basement. Well, what else can we do? Cut and run? The last time I checked, that wasn't an option either. Even if it were, I wouldn't take it. I'm not running from from this. Not not after what they did here tonight. None of us are, Glory. But Iger's right. We can't just go charging in there again. Not without some kind of edge. I'm with Dietrich, no guts, no glory. I still haven't completely ruled out the cut and run plan. Hindi yan. So tama, agree tayo kay Iger. Tama siya eh. No guts, no glory. Ano ba yan? The simulacrum jerks back to life. It resumes speaking, blissfully unaware of the conversation that it's cutting off. And now, Rakal Siddhartha, on to the bad news. You know how where Vauclair is, but rescuing him will not be possible. Alice, I have a question. He continues without waiting for a response. Why the hell not? In the course of my investigation, I encountered something terrifying in the Matrix. It was fast, cunning, and very definitely intelligent. I'm convinced that I only escaped because it let me go. It could have killed me in a heartbeat if it wanted to. This thing that I met is protecting the Harfeld Manor, and it's going after anyone who gets too close to what's happening there. Alice, what did you see in there? What is going after these people? By way of explanation, I would like you to read the following document. The simulacrum makes another sweeping gesture, and the menu slides back onto the screen. This time it is filled with text. What you're looking at is an archived forum discussion from the early days of the Shadowland BBS. Blitz stares at the text on the screen. It isn't hiding, Chief. It isn't kidding, Chief. This discussion is dated back to 2036. That's ancient history in the Deccan community. It probably isn't even correct to call these guys Deckers. Hackers would be the more appropriate term. When you're finished reading it over, say, Alice, I'm done, and we can continue. Okay. Read the archive discussion. As you lean in to read, the text slowly begins to scroll up from the bottom of the screen. You are here about the SK team that got crippled. Dahil lang guys, medyo nahirapan magbasa kasi. You all hear about the SK team that got crippled a few hours ago? A whole lab's worth of researchers, all burned and broken beyond recognition. Ugly stuff. Clockwork. 1/27/02, September 1, 2038. At this point, who hasn't? Big Pharma. 1/28/05, same day, September 1, 2038. Power spike got them right through their data jacks, like a bolt of lightning to the brain. A one in a million accident is what they're saying, Mr. Mayhem. Same day, ano? Ito naman, September 12. And you believe that? Clockwork ulit. Nag-reply siya same day. Get a more plausible explanation? Yes, actually, it was a clean-up operation. Clockworks. Same day pa rin. Color me intrigued. What were they cleaning up? A secret project that Lulwire didn't want anything to do with. You might have heard rumors about it. The project name was Apex. Malapit na tayo sa part ng game na medyo glitchy sa mga nabasa ko. And you've lost me, Mr. Mayhem. September 1210. Apex Clockwork? Seriously? That old line of Trek? Big Pharma? I'm telling you, Jokers, Apex is real, or at least it was, until the Whizworm pulled the plug. Hirap kasi magusto ng PBS na eh, hindi na straight dialogue eh. Come on, Clockwork. We're still decades away from seeing a fully functional AI. You know that? Those Apex stories that have been floating around, they've just some conspiracy nuts wet dream. Fine, keep your heads in the sand. Some of us know the truth when we read it. Okay, Clock. I'll honor you. I'll humor you. But riddle me this. If Lalo had an armed and operational AI in his claws, why kill it? You remember what happened to most of Echo Mirage? Hirap ito kasi panay, text na eh. The crash virus killed them, fried their brains, but I don't see why that has but I don't see what that has to do with anything. With the commercial release of the CDT 1000, some security firms are working on counter intrusion software that could do the same thing. Black IC. You can look it up if you don't believe me. Whoa, scary stuff, man. Well, the goal of the Apex project was even scarier. IC waits for you to come to it. Apex wouldn't be bound by those restrictions. It would go out hunting, hit its targets when they least expected it. That's why they called it Apex. It was designed to be the apex predator of the digital world. Okay. So may AI. Yun na malamang yun ang dumispatcha kay Monica tsaka kay Green Winters. And so rather than using it to his advantage, Lulwire decided to kill it in the cradle. The Whizworm's no fool. Some things are too dangerous to play around with. How would you put that genie back in the bottle if it ever slipped out of your control? Answer, you couldn't. And then it would take over the world. Okay, this thread has officially gone off the rails. I'm closing it down. For the good of mankind. What the? The slow scroll of text comes to a stop. Alice, I'm done. The simulacrum jerks back to life, then settles into a neutral pose. There are no official records in the Cedar Crop database to support the existence of the Apex project. But the thing that I encountered was Apex. Of that I am certain. Just as I am certain that Apex was responsible for the deaths of Monica Schaefer, Green Winters, Clockwork, Peregrine, and a score of other deckers over the last 16 years. Blitz raises his hand. Hold up, Alice, I have a question. I thought they said that Lulwire killed Apex. They speculated as much, yes. They were wrong on that count. I do believe that Cedar Crop was developing Apex as a tool for Matrix warfare. I am also convinced that the IT personnel who were killed were the Apex development team, but I don't think that Lulwire was responsible for their deaths. Apex killed them? That'd be my guess, yes. In the turmoil surrounding Lulwar's buyout of Cedarcraft, a number of projects were missing. I went missing. I believe that Apex was appropriated by a member of Viewershwin's organization at this point. It was then unleashed on its own development team to silence them. Since then, it has provided information it, 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 since then it has provided information control for the Firewing. A pet AI would explain how Viewershwin has managed to maintain her conspiracy and avoid detection for the past 2 decades. Anytime anyone gets closer, the AI takes them out and scrubs the record clean.
Yun yung nangyari yung pala nangyari kay Monica.
So there's your bad news, Reka Siddhartha. Vauclair is being held at the Harfield Manor, but knowing that does you no good, because you can't approach the place. I thought that you could open the door without Apex frying you. We did last time. They were trying to protect their secret, like Audron said. If we hadn't gone down into the basement, they'd let us go. Apex didn't react to us until Monica attempted to force the door to the basement.
Tama nga.
May point doon si Glory. And now that the cat's out of the bag, they have no reason not to pull out the big guns on sight. Dietrich grimaces. You're right, we can't go back while Apex is in place. The room falls into silence. Finally, Iger turns to you. Pause the play, Raquel Siddhartha. We can't turn back now. If Apex is standing between us and Vauclair, then we need to find a way to kill Apex.
Paano? Yun ang tanong.
Fucking. Boss, I mean. Did you hear that, Alice? Do you have any suggestions? The simulacrum hitches again. The pause stretches. Finally, it comes back to life. The AI has a kill switch, but Alice deemed any additional contact with Apex to be an unjustifiable risk. Attempting to reach the kill switch would be inadvisable. I'll be the judge of that. Save me the warnings. I'm going to kill this thing. I owe Monica that much. If Alice was scared of this thing, maybe we should give it a wide berth.
Ito na lang, kailangan natin pagkaganti si Monica rin. Sige.
You and me both. Alice, tell us about Apex's kill switch. The simulacrum stares at you with dead eyes. Thanks to my close encounter with the AI, I was able to run a trace on it. Through this trace, I discovered the physical address of a backdoor access point for Apex's programming. An old Cedarcraft research lab, long since abandoned and fallen into disrepair. The facility is now hotly contested gang territory. I have also determined that the kill switch for the AI exists somewhere in the basement of this facility. I will provide you with a physical address. I don't like the smell of this, Chief. It said that Apex let Alice escape. He turns to address the simulacrum on the screen. Alice, why would a Matrix Warfare AI allow you to run a trace on it? It stares straight ahead. It stares straight ahead. Its eyes are dead. I'm afraid that the answer to that question falls outside of the scope of my written parameters.
Hindi rin siguro alam ni Alice kung bakit.
The simulacrum stutters one final time, then looks up at you with an apologetic smile. You have now reached the end of this presentation. I have been encoded with a final message from Alice to Rakal Siddhartha. Playback commencing. The simulacrum's eyes, the simulacrum eyes, the simulacrum's eyes go wide, and the life floods back into it. Stares directly at you. Rakal Siddhartha, if you didn't listen to me before, listen to me now. Drop this. Stop going after Vauclair. Get out of Berlin and stay out of the Matrix. I'm telling you this for your own good. Takot din si Alice sa kanya. Ba yun? That's all that I have to say. I'm following my own advice. I'm out. Don't try to contact me again. The simulacrum reverts to its idle state, slumping like a puppet with its strings cut. Its eyes glaze over and its face goes slack. Then the screen cuts to black. Okay. So natapos na natin yung event na yan. So the dragon has a killer AI in charge of security. I can't say I'm surprised, but then nothing surprises me anymore. We know what killed Monica. We have a name for it. And we know how to kill it. That's good enough for me. We know what we have to do. We can either stand around talking about it, or we can go do it. Agreed. We shut down Apex, then we re-enter the estate and rescue Vauclair. He's the key to this whole thing. Right now, I don't care what the Firewing is planning. I just want to get some payback for Monica. All I care about is getting us through this without any more casualties. We've lost enough already. Ito na lang. Is the key to all of this. Revenge for Monica. Getting us through. Ito na lang. All I care about is getting us through this without any more casualties. We've lost enough already. Ito na lang. The only way to guarantee that is to kill the Firewing, Rakal Siddhartha, and we can't do that without Vauclair. The AI is standing between us and what we need. If we want to save our own lives, we're going to have to do something about Apex. I still say that all of this is crazy talk, Chief. Taking on an AI isn't just a bad idea. It's suicide. So my vote is to cut and run. Ganun ka naman talaga, Blitz eh. Yung huling encounter nga, ganun ang ginawa mo eh. Blitz surveys the rest of the group. Sees the determination in their faces. Finally he sighs. But if you're really doing this, you'll want the best decker you can find along for the ride. Ako yun eh. Mas mataas pa yung stats ko yata sa'yo eh. And I guess that nominates me. Woo. Alice said that the kill switch is located in some old SK facility. Assuming that the site was shut down sometime after the Apex project disappeared, it could have stood simply for years, maybe decades. She also said that the building was in gang territory now. I wonder if it'll be anything like Das Castle House was. God, I hope not. There's only one way to find out. Let's get prepped. This thing isn't going to kill itself. And don't forget, boss, we're taking on an AI here. I'd recommend bringing the best cyber deck that you can afford. Something tells me that we're gonna need all the firepower that we can get. Iger begins her weapons check. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Whatever's there, we'll deal with it. First, we find our way into the basement. She peers through the scope on her sniper rifle, and then we kill the AI that killed Monica. Damn right. The team breaks to begin gearing up. As she slides a shell into her shotgun,
Iger catches your eye. You did good, but you did good out there, defending the cruise bazaar. You've had our backs the entire way. Made good decisions. Are we gonna hug now? Is in this job we work together or die alone. I appreciate that. Now you need to forgive yourself. You weren't out of position, Iger, and you know that. In this job, ito na lang, mas gusto ko to. In this job, we work together or die alone. Iger scowls at the floor nods. True, you're right again. Anyway, we should get back to it. We've got an AI to take out after all. She pauses for a moment, frowning. Rakasadata, do me a favor and keep your eyes open on this one. We're walking into the unknown here. Makes me a little uneasy. Don't worry, Iger, I've got your back. She smiles, claps you on the shoulder. I know you do, and I've got yours. You're more than earned it. Stop it. You're making my mascara run. Ito na lang. You too, Iger. Let's get to work. Yun na lang. Without another word, the troll slides her shotgun into the sheath on her back and turns to continue her pre-mission checklist. Okay, natapos na yung mga dialogue, so magpe-prepare tayo ngayon. Head to Apex backdoor facility. Wala tayong nakuha ang ano doon. Kahit man lang sanang ano. Kahit man lang sana konting ano man lang. Kahit 2 o 3 karma points sana eh, pero wala. Oh well, fine. So, final preparations. Save natin. Ay, teka. Kakat ko na lang muna dito guys kasi babasahin ko lang ulit yung ano, titingnan ko kung ano yung tingnan ko kung importante yung na-miss ko information do sa una ano. So, cut. Okay guys, andito na ako ulit. Chinek ko lang kung ano yung in-skip natin dialogue do sa ano, do sa ask yung ano, tinanong natin kung anong finding dun sa Harfeld Manor. So, binasa ko lang yun. So, ano lang pala yun. Hindi naman total importante rin. Ano lang. Yun lang, yung tinuloy lang bali, ano, in-explain lang dun bali yung facts na sinabi ni, nung yung sinabi nung simulation ni Alice na yung maliban kay Vauclair, ang sagot kasi doon tinignan niya kung ano yung bakit daw kaya kinuha nung bakit daw kaya ginawang imbis na dahil nga ang findings, 'di ba? Ang findings kinuha nung mga tropa ni Firewing yung Apex program para protektahan siya. So bakit daw kaya kinidnap pa pati si Vauclair. So yun nga ang nabasa ko doon, sabi ni Glory baka daw parang siya gusto lang maghiganti kay Vauclair. So okay, pwede natin save na. So save ko na ulit. So, final preparations tayo. Teka. Tingnan ko stats. Kulang kung mabibili ko sana yung decking numbers, yung highest level na cyber deck, level 7 yun eh. Hindi natin makukuha, so wag na lang. bili tayo ng gear. Teka. Check tayo kung may mga mabibili tayong magandang gear. Okay. I need some tech and I'm on a tight schedule. Ito sa ano yun, kaso level 7 nga eh. O meron na tayong AI. Bumili na ako ng ano, last episode. Teka, check ko nga yung gear natin. Level 2 lang to eh. So, at least yung level 3 pwede ko gamitin yata. Teka. Check natin kung may requirement. Kung may skill requirement o wala. Sige, bilhin natin yung level 3 gear. Okay. Kata natin yung mga yan. Yung grenade, pwede ko ibigay kay Iger yun eh. Pati ito pwede ko ibigay kay ano, AT Trick. So, okay. Ibili kong programs. Ito. Level 3 blaster. Ito, level 3 ano. Wag na tong erosion. Ito na lang. Tapos to. Ito. Kung nabili sana natin yung level 7, pwede ko bilhin yung ano eh, erosion eh, pero hindi pwede. So, ito na lang. Magkano? 1.5? Mahal ah, okay lang. Okay. Hindi naman tayo ng weapon. May armor tsaka weapon. At dito. Hindi lang guys ha. Check ko lang itong ano. Bili lang tayo ng gear. Malapit na rin yung time natin eh. Teka. Sino to? Kausapin nga muna natin itong mga to. Walang dialogue. Asan ba si ano? Bili lang tayo ng weapons tsaka armor if ever. Check ko nga yung teka, cancel ko muna. Check ko muna yung gear ko, dali. +1 to all stats, level 8. Kailangan ko palitan yun. May level 1 pala ako. Teka, dali lang. Mamaya na, teka. Tingin muna tayo ng armor. Armor muna. Outfits. Yun lang talaga, level 8. Camouflage full suit. Timer na rin guys, teka. Setup ko lang tong gear natin, teka. +1 close combat, +1 range combat, and 1 dodge. Parang okay to, teka. Nasaan yun? May level 9 armor. Pure body protection with a touch of class. Grants +1 body. Range combat +1 dodge. Teka. Parang mas gusto ko yun. Teka lang. Paano, ano na lang. Teka. Teka. Balik muna kay Malit. Unahin ko na yun. Mas madali yun eh. Ay! Okay, ano guys. Cut ko na lang muna. Cut ko na lang dito yung recording. Tapos, pagbalik natin, fully geared na tayo. Save na natin, teka. Save na natin. Okay. Kaya saan pala sa signing off guys. Next episode na lang ulit. Tapos pagbalik natin, okay na yung gear natin.